These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Hey weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Alaina.
And this is a mini Morbid, but probably not because it's Alaina's mini.
It's so tiny.
Little small.
Hey guys, welcome to a mini episode. And I don't know if it's going to be a mini, but hang tight, everybody. We don't really have a whole lot of business to attend to because, again, it's a mini-sode, and we try not to bombard you with lots of business during our mini episodes. But one fun thing that's coming up is our first live show in a couple days. And you know what, guys? If you're coming, it's going to be just fine.
It will be slightly nifty.
It's going to be neat. And we say this so that when you come, your expectations are real low, and then we just super exceed them.
Please don't come with expectations.
We would like to exceed them, so we would like them to be placed very low. On that note, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're really excited. We're really nervous, but yay! We're excited to meet all of you wonderful weirdos that are coming out to see us. And thank you so much for buying tickets, you beautiful, magical unicorns. And besides our amazing first live show happening in a couple days, somebody who we're not going to name because they don't deserve to be named because they're a fucking pile of hot steaming garbage. Somebody died. And that's somebody.
Someone is going to get so pissed
Someone's
off.
going to get real mad, and I don't give a fuck because this person is a piece of shit, and I'm happy he died. But he's from Australia. And as one of our wonderful weirdos and Patronuses, Sarah, who is also from Australia, pointed out, he's an oxygen thief So who gives a shit? Let's not name him. Instead, let's name his victims. Let's give a little bit of honor here to Carolyn Clark, Joanne Walters, Debra Everest, James Gibson, Simone Schmiedel, Anya Haberschied, and Gabor Neugbauer. Because who gives a fuck about the dumb piece of shit that took their lives? That's all I have to say about that. So, you know what Ash has to say about that?
I have to say to you, Sir Oxygen Thief Man, rest in distress.
Now that we've gotten that true crime news out of the way, we would like to talk to you about murder apparel.
My favorite people. If you go on over to their Instagram at Murder Apparel on the Instagram, you can click the link in their bio, which is going to lead you to some fancy awesomeness. Lots of cool shirts, lots of cool sweatshirts, lots of cool tank tops. It's spooky season. Buy you a sweatshirt, buy you a shirt, buy your man's a shirt, buy your lady a shirt, buy your grandma a sweater, and then check out using our code MORBID for 20% off.
And now let's go on to my mini-sode, guys. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do this. Lindsay Elizabeth Buziak was born November 2nd, 1983. She was born in Victoria, British Columbia, and her parents were Evelyn and Jeff Buziak. She was very close to her family, very close to her parents. As we'll see towards the end of this case, her father is like a real champion for her, which, yeah, it hurts my heart. But she was super popular, very kind and caring. Basically, everyone knew her. Everyone loved her. She could walk into a room. It wasn't one of those, like, she could walk into a room and light it up. Like, no, she really did. She walked into a room and everyone turned their head. She was beautiful. She just had, like, a way about her. Like, even looking at pictures, you're like, I want to, like, know her. I just want to hang out with her.
That's how I feel when I see pictures of you.
That's really sweet.
You're welcome.
Thanks. She was also really trusting. She kind of saw the best in everybody. Because of this, effervescent personality she had, that she could draw people into her just by literally walking into a room, she decided to follow her dad into the career of real estate. Because honestly, I could never do real estate because you really do have to be a certain personality to do that.
Have you ever seen $1 Million Listing?
I haven't, but I've heard about it and I've seen people sell houses.
It's cutthroat.
It is. Because it's all selling. I'm not a good seller because I don't have that personality.
Oh my God, I suck at selling, and part of my job is like hitting retail numbers, and I'm always like, buy this, it's awesome, it smells good. I turn into like such a salesperson, and then people are like, yeah, I can see right through this.
But it probably works.
It doesn't.
And Lindsay was like right on this shit. Like she fell right into it. She was really good right away. People were drawn to her. So she was already starting to like climb the ladder immediately. So she took, like anybody who's going to go into real estate, she took a real estate course. And in there, she met a guy named Ryan Zalo. Ryan immediately was drawn to Lindsay. I think he, like, from what I've read, it seemed like he was kind of into her, like immediately. And he was so like enamored with her. She was just like platonically interested in him, like friendship.
Uh-oh.
And he was so enamored with her that he introduced her to his mother, Shirley, who works for a huge real estate company in the area. And he was like, yo, you got to meet this girl. She's great. She would be great. Which, nice, Ryan.
Thanks, Rye.
Shirley immediately loved Lindsay too and offered her a job working as a junior real estate agent for her company.
Fancy.
Yeah, so that's a good way in. Ryan had a brother, Jason Zalo. Jason Zalo was a mortgage broker, and he started appearing at the office every now and then and was clearly into Lindsay as well. Because it's his mother's office. It's not like it's like this random office that he's showing up at.
He's just visiting his mom all the time now. What a nice man.
Maybe he's just trying to be a good son.
He's trying to get Lindsay to love him.
He is, it's true. And it kind of worked. So they went out, like he asked her out.
Oh, Ryan's going to be pissed.
Weirdly enough, Ryan does not factor into this story again.
God damn it. My one lead is gone.
Right? Already, I'm sending you on a wild goose chase. So yeah, Jason asked her out. They went out and they began dating. So after only a few months of dating, they decided to move in together.
Honestly, never a good plan.
It's really not. I mean, sometimes maybe it works out. And if it worked out for you, claps to you. I think it can be tough.
Yeah, sorry, I just shit on that. Just like 10 out of 10 don't recommend.
It's true. I feel like you should. I mean, to be honest, moving in together is the best way.
Sure is.
Because you're going to find out everything about that person.
They fucking clip their toenails in bed.
Exactly. That's a deal breaker, man. So yeah, they decided to move in together after only a few months of dating. And when they did, they moved into Shirley, the mother's, vacation home in Shawnigan Lake. This vacation home was like $1.3 million.
Casual.
That's a pretty good starter home.
Where was this again?
It's in Canada.
Oh, Canada's pretty, huh?
Oh, Canada.
Oh. Maple bacon.
I was going to sing your national anthem, but
Ash done fucked it up.
But Ash just decided to go, oh. We love you, Canada. So like we said, moving in together, you find out a lot about each other. And you also find a lot about the other one's family. And she started seeing that Shirley was like a little controlling and had a lot of, she would kind of fly off the handle every now and then. At least that's what I've found in my research.
That is not a quality I'm looking for in a mother-in-law.
Definitely not. You don't want that.
You have to interview the mother-in-law before you sign the prenup.
You really do. Because you're either going to hit the worst mother-in-law ever or you're going to get the jackpot. I feel like there's no in between.
I'm willing to settle for mediocre, but I bet there's no in between.
I don't think it exists. I think you get the best or you get the worst.
Willing to settle for a mediocre mother-in-law.
But not mediocre spouse.
Correct.
Good call. Good distinction. So yeah, she started seeing that Shirley had like kind of a different side to her. And she noticed that Jason was a little bit like his mom. He was getting a little controlling. He was starting to be a little like, she was not feeling it as much as she was in the beginning.
I am here to tell you that as soon as you see the first sign of controlling, you run the other way.
Yes, you take that red flag and you run as far away as possible.
You wave it so high.
Just wave that red flag.
On the air.
In the air.
You know the Flow Rider song?
I don't.
Air.
Did you just ask me, do you know the Flow Rider song?
I don't even know.
Did you just seriously ask me that? What if I had answered, yeah, I do know that song? You'd be like,
that's
what?
a lie.
Exactly. So yeah, wave that red flag in the air.
Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent to taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
So she saw that Jason was kind of being controlling, so she decided to move out and move back to Victoria. Now, Jason begged her back. He didn't want to lose the relationship. He was like, it's fine, we can move back to Victoria. Because basically, I think she wanted to be around her friends and family more, and they were all in Victoria and around there. And she felt like even though Shawnigan Lake, I guess, isn't that far away, she just felt like a little out of the loop. And since she wasn't really super happy in the relationship, I think she felt like, not only am I out of the loop and not seeing everybody who I love, but I'm also stuck in this $1 million home.
Sounds like a shitty situation.
It sounds like it kind of was. But she did move back to Victoria. Jason begged her back. They ended up getting back together.
I'm getting Phoebe Handstruck vibes.
It kind of did give me a little bit. But in fall of 2007, she and Jason moved into a condo in Victoria. that was owned by Shirley.
See, this is the thing. I'm not like shaming, but I just like wouldn't want to live in like a place where it was his mom's place. Like I want our own place because I'm not having that lady be holding shit over my head.
Exactly. It can create a lot of issues, I think. And so
did such an eloquent job of saying that.
you did. Like into a place that is not my place. Shirley actually invested like $70,000 into this place for renovations. So I think and she did that to the home too, like the vacation home when they moved in. There was a ton of renovations that she started with it and put a bunch of money into it. And I feel like that's kind of how it seems like that might be part of her deal is she kind of just like uses money to control a lot.
Hush money.
I mean, I don't know Shirley. Maybe Shirley doesn't do that. But to me, that's the vibe I'm getting from Shirley. So the relationship wasn't getting much better. And she was starting to tell her friends and family that she just like wasn't really into this. She thinks she was going to try to get out of it. On January 31st, 2008, Lindsay got a random call in the morning. And it was from a woman who said that she and her husband were looking for a home. So Lindsay was like, oh, cool. I happen to be a real estate agent.
For a second, I was like, why the fuck did she receive a call like that? And then I was like, oh, she's a real estate agent.
Someone randomly just called and was like, I would like a home, please.
Like, what?
I'd be like, cool, go get one.
What kind of scam is this?
Well, the people said they were from Vancouver and they wanted a ready to move in home with 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, and wanted a separate area for a nanny. So this was a very specific home that they wanted.
Damn, for real.
Their budget was $1 million.
Same.
So Lindsay was like, ooh, that's great because commission on that is going to be pretty sweet. So she said, the lady on the phone said that they would be in Victoria that weekend and they were going to be there for 3 days. They were going to be visiting. And they said while they were there for that 3 days, they wanted to buy. So they were like, we want options and we want to see them in these 3 days and we want to make an offer. So she had a very small window to get this ready. And she was like, but I'm ready because $1 million is $1 million.
She's like, let's make money moves.
Let's do it. So Lindsay said that this woman had an unidentifiable accent. She was like, I could not pinpoint where it was from.
Because it was fake.
Well, she said she felt a little weird about it, even though she was excited about the possibility of $1 million sale. She told people later she did feel like the accent was faked. She felt like it was one that like somebody was trying to put on and they couldn't quite get whatever accent they were trying to do.
That's how Margie and Estelle always sound to me.
I know, it's weird, but theirs are real.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So Lindsay asked this woman how she found her. She was like, how'd you hear about me? She told her, oh, a previous buyer recommended you. And then when Lindsay was like, oh, great, who? I'd love to thank them. The woman did give an actual previous client's name. So Lindsay did start to feel a little more comfortable because she was like, oh, okay, somebody else did recommend me. So this person knows somebody. So she tried to get a hold of the client that she said recommended her to thank her. And she said this client was out of town. So she couldn't get a hold of her to thank her, to ask about these people. So she was like, oh, well, I'll just go with it. I'll just trust it. That's a bummer because if she had gotten a hold of this person, she probably would have found out that they did not know these people.
I am in.
Spook. Lindsay did find a place that she went around. She was looking, for this perfect place for them. She was really making an effort. She ended up finding a place at 1702 D'Souza Place in Sandwich. It had 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, and it was $964,000. So under $1 million.
Expensive.
Still expensive, but under that $1 million budget. So she told this couple that she found the home. She was ready for them to come. The couple said they would be there February 2nd and would meet her at this home at 5:30 p.m. So she was like, cool, I'm ready. She was nervous, though, because, again, she doesn't know these people. They kind of called out of the blue. They had the weird, seemingly faked accent. She couldn't really get a backup to tell her that this is all fine. She told people around her she was a little nervous. She talked to her father because he's a real estate person. So her father was like, no, I'm sure it's fine. But he was like, bring someone to the viewing with you. I think you should bring someone to be your backup.
That's always smart.
Yeah, I think that's smart for sure. So she asked Jason, because they were still dating, even though they were a little rocky. She was like, can you please come and just be there to kind of watch and see what happens? And Jason was like, absolutely, I'll definitely do that for you.
Because I'm totally in on this scheme.
We don't know. We don't know.
Oh, I do, though.
So that day, she had lunch with Jason before the viewing at a restaurant called Sauce, which is a cool name for a restaurant.
Love that.
They hung out. They knew the waitress, so the waitress was a witness saying she remembers seeing them at this time. They paid their bill at 4:24 p.m. Now, there's going to be a lot of really specific times here because her father has created a website in her honor because this is an unsolved case, just spoiler alert.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, this is an unsolved case, and her father is still fighting to have this opened again. So he has a very detailed timeline of events that has all the times of everything that happened. So Jason and Lindsay left Sauce separately because Jason said he had to go to an auto body shop. I believe it was like SHC. And he said he had a couple of things to do there, and then he was going to meet her at the viewing.
Yeah, his couple of things to do were pay the hitman that he's going to have kill her.
Wow. That's some serious accusations being thrown down on the table.
Here I am.
Here I am. So Lindsay went. So let me see. So Jason got to the auto body shop to do this whatever work he had to do at 4:29 p.m. He's on surveillance footage. There are witnesses that say he was there. So Lindsay stopped home real quick to change her clothing into her real estate clothes. She went to the house and got to the real estate lockbox at 5:29 p.m. So right on time. Jason finished the work he had to do at SHC and left with a coworker named Cohen Oatman. Now, Jason had invited Cohen. There was like two separate stories here. There's a lot of conflicting accounts of what happens here, which is sketchy to say the least. Mm-hmm. And one says that Jason had invited Cohen to dinner that night. Like they were going to go out to dinner together. Another one says that they were going to go play hockey together because he did play hockey like regularly. So either way kind of makes sense.
So they were hanging.
They were going to hang. But what was weird was Cohen and him were not like super close. They were like acquaintances. So one thing I saw said that Cohen was like kind of weirded out that he had asked him to go to dinner, if that's what it was. And he kind of was like, no, I don't know if I'm like available to go to dinner that night. And then he said Jason kind of pushed the idea, like, please come with me. Like kind of pushed it a little bit.
Come with me for my alibi.
Come with me. And so he was like, all right, fine, I'll go. So he had met Jason at SHC and waited for him in the parking lot. This is confirmed on surveillance footage. It shows Cohen waiting outside his car. So this is all real. He had not told Cohen ahead of time that they had to stop at this house.
So now he's bringing Cohen too?
Yeah. So
if I was buying this house, I'd be like, why are all of you people here?
Well, they're not actually going to show up and like just stand there. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
So when he got in the car with Cohen is when he was like, oh, hey, we need to stop at this viewing to check up on Lindsay. So Cohen had no idea that they had to do this beforehand.
I'd be like, we're not friends and I don't want to do activities with you.
I do not want to do this with you. So they left at 5:30 p.m. and he sent a text to Lindsay saying, quote, I'll come meet you and I'll be 10 or 15 minutes or so. She replied, okay, I'll see you in a bit. Gotta go. The Mexicans are here. Ooh. Now, the Mexicans are here. This is what she said in the text message. She started referring to these people as the Mexicans because she couldn't identify their accent. I'm not going to say anything about that because you know. So, but this is just a fact of the case. No one get up in my shit because this is a fact of the case. I'm just putting it out there. It's a fact like Ted Bundy was a Republican and John Wayne Gacy was a Democrat. We don't make these things up. We just report them. Just saying.
News Center 5.
News Center 5. So, yes, that's what she said. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Gotta go. The Mexicans are here. Now, this is when witnesses saw Lindsay greet a couple. outside of the home in the driveway, and they were standing at the back of her car. They shook hands. The witnesses all said it didn't look like she knew these people. She was introducing herself. So she shook their hands, she greeted them, and then she led them towards the front door. At 5:38 p.m., Jason sent another text, quote, just a couple of minutes away. And the text was never read by her. It was never opened. Now, police claim this was the last text that Jason sent to her phone, the last text that Lindsay ever received on her phone. But Jason says that he texted her, quote, are you okay after this? Because she didn't answer.
Yeah, you're so great.
And what's weird is neither one of these versions of events are confirmed, but both of them, there's a Dateline special about this. And the police say that text, I'm just a couple of minutes away, is the last text. But then Jason's on the same program saying, and then I sent her a text that said, are you okay? So no one disputes the other. It's like Jason is disputing the police, but the police are not disputing Jason. It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there's a lot of weird, the police seem to be not exactly on the up and up with this investigation.
Maybe they're just keeping things close to the chest, as you would say.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way, we don't know which one was the actual. We don't know if he actually said, are you okay? We don't know. I think it's a little weird if he did text her, are you okay? Because why wouldn't you just call her? If you were worried, like, why isn't she answering? Wouldn't you call her and be like, hey, you okay?
Yeah, but I could see texting her too.
Well, and why was he, I don't think my first thing would be something's wrong. Like something bad is happening in there.
But she was nervous for like weeks leading up to it, and he was going there because she was nervous. And then she's not answering, so he's like, hey, is everything cool?
Yeah, I guess. Whatever.
And then to call her, he probably like felt like it was like rude to interrupt. Because I'm sure in his mind he was like, everything's okay, but let me make sure.
Yeah, that's true. I could see that. So at 5:41 p.m., Lindsay's phone called out to someone, not Jason. It called out to a random number of someone she hadn't talked to in a long time. She didn't make this phone call. This was a butt dial because her BlackBerry was in her pocket and she was being murdered.
Ooh.
Isn't that really fucked up?
Yes.
Yeah. So she was killed somewhere between 5:38 p.m. and 5:41 p.m.
Ooh.
So immediately upon entering the house. At 5:45 p.m., Jason and Cohen pulled into the cul-de-sac where this house was. So at this point, she was already killed. Now, there's two stories that the police and that Jason tell about this. The first story is that both Cohen and Jason saw silhouettes through the glass door on the front door. They saw silhouettes moving around. That was now this again happened like years ago. So for 9 years, that was the story that was told, that they both saw silhouettes walking around inside the house. No, but after 9 years, the story suddenly changes and the police department say that Jason saw a man outside near the door when he got into the cul-de-sac and that he witnessed the man walk inside and close the door behind him.
That's such like a weird change.
It's very odd. Why would a story be the same for 9 years and then the police are like, oh no, he saw this?
Yeah, that doesn't add up.
There's just a lot of very weird things in here. So Jason said he pulled across from the house, like in the car, and he parked, he faced his car away and was watching in like the rearview mirror because he didn't want to like be super intrusive or anything. After 10 minutes at 5:55 p.m., he decided to leave the cul-de-sac and pull around the back of the house. And what's weird is he parked on the road next to the home because he was like, oh yeah, I wanted to get like a better vantage point. But it's weird because where he parked completely obstructed his view. There was a patio where he parked and it had a huge fence around it that would have you wouldn't be able to see anything happening. So I don't know why.
Convenient that you didn't see anything.
It is kind of convenient, but it's just weird. And he later said he did this because he was trying to stay out of the way. And he was like, I didn't want these people to see me like creeping on the house and think something was wrong or I didn't want them to like look out and be like, do people often creep around this house and like make her lose a sale because he's a creep outside of the house?
Right.
And he was like, I didn't want to make her also look less competent because I'm the boyfriend and I didn't want her to it to look like she needs the boyfriend to be out here, which I get.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of these things you're like, yeah, okay, Jason. Then you're like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, like you're like shit. So a few minutes later, he texted. This is when a few minutes later he texted to ask her if she was okay, and she didn't answer, or at least he says he did that, and nobody has confirmed or denied this. So after 20 minutes of sitting there, Jason and Cohen went to the front door because they were starting to get nervous now. When they tried the front door, they saw that it was locked, which is weird. They looked through and they saw her shoes on the floor. Now, that's not super weird because a lot of times real estate agents will take their shoes off when they walk into a house, I guess. That's what I read.
Okay.
Jason saw the shoes, noticed that, the door is locked. He's not getting an answer. He said he just immediately started panicking because he was like, I just had a bad feeling about this. According to him, he said he checked the lockbox for an extra key and there wasn't one. So he said he saw an electric keypad on the garage and he called Shirley, his mother, to see if she had a code for it because he was like, she's a real estate agent, the biggest one in the area. Like she might have the code for this.
Right.
She said, she was like, I don't think I do, but I'm going to go look. I'll call you right back. She looked, she called back and she said, I don't have the key code for that. So this is when he said he like really lost it. He was like, I got to get in that fucking house.
Oh.
So at 6:05 p.m., Jason called police and he said, my girlfriend's showing a home. This is the address. The door is locked and I can't get in there. And he said, I was texting her. She's not answering me. I'm worried. And he said, I'm going to find a way to break in. And he hung up. So the 911 operator was like, cool, I'm going to send people.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Now, Jason apparently, Cohen got over the fence, the patio fence that I talked about. Jason helped him over it. And when he did this, Cohen said he saw that the 2 patio doors were open. So he went through the doors, went through to the front door. He unlocked the door, let Jason in. Jason came in and he said Cohen ran back to like where he came in and they were both yelling for Lindsay. Jason screaming for Lindsay. And he said he immediately ran upstairs and right to the master bedroom. Now, they later had Jason come back and recreate what he did. Mm-hmm. And there's a video of it. And when you walk in the front door, the steps going up to the second floor are literally right in front of you. So it does make sense that he just ran up those stairs because they're right in front of him.
It's just like your first instinct.
Exactly. So it does, because when I first read that, I was like, why did he immediately go upstairs? Why wouldn't he check the first floor first?
Right.
But it makes sense. Now he ran right to the master bedroom. And this is where he found Lindsay dead in a pool of blood.
Oh, had she been stabbed or shot?
Well, I'll let you know. He tried CPR right away, but he said she was cold. She was cold, and he knew that she was dead. Which that's to me, I'm like, was she cold?
That struck me as weird because I was like, she's only been dead like a few minutes.
Yeah, you wouldn't be cold by that, but maybe he's misremembering. Maybe that's just.
Maybe she was just chilly.
Maybe she was just cold, not due to, the effects of death. But so Cohen called the police at 6:11 p.m. and they were already on their way from the other call. When they got there, the police saw Cohen and Jason waving to them from the upstairs window. They did say that Jason showed not a lot of emotion. He was kind of like stone-faced.
Which you could attribute to being shocked.
Exactly. They took both Cohen and Jason down to the police station separately to interview them. What had happened to Lindsay was that she had been stabbed 40 times.
40 times?
40 times.
Okay, so that's somebody that knows you.
Exactly. And it gets creepier. She had recently had a breast enhancement surgery. The stab wounds were focused mostly on her chest.
That's somebody that's pissed that you got a breast augmentation.
Well, and it's like they were focused on her breast area, and they were also focused on her face and head.
Okay, that's somebody that knows you and is like pissed off at you for some reason.
Yeah, this is somebody that's definitely pissed. That's
or like jealous of you, perhaps.
that's something I thought too. I was like, that kind of seems like a jealous.
I want to like mess your face up.
Like I want to mess up the things I deem like, most attractive about you kind of thing.
Right.
So it is weird. And to me that regardless of anything else, it's definitely someone who is unbelievably enraged at her.
And I'm sorry, whoever did that must know her.
Exactly, because there was also no sign of robbery. Her wallet and belongings were still there, as well as her cell phone. It was in her pocket.
Yeah, that's weird.
There was no sexual assault. They did bring in canine dogs to sniff for evidence. They didn't really come up with anything. There was not much physical evidence at all in the home left. They really didn't have anything to go on. There were prints, but their prints were Cohen and Jason's, and they also matched up exactly with their version of how they got in the house.
Okay.
So everywhere that there were prints, it made sense. They had said, this is where we went. 3 boards from the patio fence were apparently kicked in. So that was interesting. And they wondered if somebody else had gotten in that way and ambushed her when she was in the house. Maybe the couple was in on it and had led her to that. Mm-hmm. They don't know. The police obviously canvassed the neighborhood. They talked to all the neighbors. And that's when the witnesses said, we did see her at 5:30 p.m. talking to a couple. She didn't know this couple. A couple of people were able to describe this couple really well, which is great. The woman was white. She was between 35 and 40 years old. She had short blonde hair, and she was wearing a very distinct dress. The distinct dress is a very ugly dress. There's pictures of it, and I'll post it on the Instagram. And it's like white, black, and like pink. And it looks very like 80s and like early 90s. And it's like a very fitted dress. It's just a very odd, very distinct dress.
Okay.
The man was white. He was about 6 feet tall, medium build. He had dark hair, and they said he was like fairly nicely dressed. He had a jacket that was light brown, I believe. And once they got all this, they drew up composite sketches of these people. What's weird is they didn't release these sketches or the dress because they were able to come up with an actual brought the dress out, not the actual dress, but they bought one. They didn't release any of this until a year after.
How is that fucking helpful at all?
Exactly. So I'm not really sure why they did that. They have different reasons for doing that, but why wouldn't you release a composite sketch of 2 people that might have brutally murdered someone? I don't understand.
Seems like a waste of time.
It really does. So they checked the BlackBerry in her pocket, and they found a number that was under the name The Mexicans. Again, this is just the way it is. They traced this number because Jason had said this is who she was saying she was meeting. This was the name she had given these people.
Oy.
And they found that it came from a burner phone.
Oh, that's fucking terrifying.
Not good. This burner phone was purchased in a convenience store in Vancouver in November of 2007.
Was she killed in 2008?
Yes. So this thing was purchased long before this. And so they went back to the convenience store because they were like, okay, we can find out who bought this. The footage from the store was already gone because so much time had passed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Now, the phone had never been used until it called Lindsay.
So they had the phone for a year?
Yes, the phone was because with burner phones, like track phones, you have to activate them before you can use it.
You know my first phone was a track phone.
Of course it was. And they activated this phone right before her murder, 24 hours before her murder.
Weird.
They activated it under the name Paulo Rodriguez. They think that's a fake name.
Sounds like it.
Now, after the murder, the phone was never used again.
Because they threw it in a ditch.
So it was literally activated to call her and then never used again. And they were able to track the phone too. Like the phone did come over from Vancouver that day Like they could track the movement of the phone.
They could track the track phone.
They track that track phone.
Track has no meaning anymore.
Now, what's so some people will say obviously this phone was bought for this murder,
Yes.
but in that it was, obviously planned well in advance and all that. But once we find out some of the theories of what they think happened to Lindsay, it kind of becomes more clear that it might not have been bought specifically for this, but it happened to be around.
Okay.
You'll see. So the day after Lindsay's murder, a woman with a weird, seemingly fake accent called another female real estate agent named Jasmine Parsons. This woman asked her to come to her home that she wanted to list. She was like, hey, I want to list my home. Please come here.
This is like super spooky.
I know. So when Jasmine asked the address of the home, she suddenly said, forget it. And then that was it. She hung up.
I want you to come to my house, but I don't want to tell you the address.
Exactly. Now, you want to hear something even crazier?
No. Yes.
Jasmine was Jason's ex-girlfriend.
Oh, sweetie.
Little coincidental. I'm just saying.
Yes, that's not a coincidence. That is a Sherlincidence, aka Shirley.
A sure incident. So now police are like, what the hell's going on?
That's terrifying. Can you imagine if you were like his other ex-girlfriend? I'd be like, I never dated him. It meant nothing. I live in America now.
I'd be like, I really hope I'm not a real estate agent.
And I would not be, so.
And now the police are looking at Lindsay's, significant other and her any exes that she's recently had. Because obviously they were looking at it like this is somebody very angry. It seems like a crime of passion, and we got to look at these people.
Yeah.
So she had dated a man named Matt before Jason. She had dated this man for 5 years. They had a really good relationship, but it was a little rocky. Nothing bad, nothing like abusive or anything. It just wasn't working out. And I think it was one of those that they probably stayed in it a little too long. Like, that's all. So they found out that Matt was about an hour away with his new girlfriend and her family at the time of the murder. He had a pretty airtight alibi. Police saw that their relationship wasn't violent or anything, and that they actually really did love each other when they were together. So they were kind of like, this doesn't seem like it's going to pan out.
This all checks out.
Matt checks out. Shirley said the day before, Shirley, Jason's mother,
Yeah.
said the day before the murder, Lindsay came to her and said that she was afraid of her ex-boyfriend, Matt.
But she wasn't, though, Shirley. Use a liar.
And it's like, she didn't really elaborate to her. She just said she was afraid of him.
Yeah, bye.
It's like, you really didn't put a whole lot of effort into that story, did you, Shirley?
I'm just telling you, that's just scared.
Well, police talked to those close to Lindsay, and they all said, no, Lindsay has been talking about Matt lately, but she's been saying that she missed what she had with Matt, and that it wasn't what she had with Jason, and that she wanted that back.
Woof city.
They said she was never afraid of Matt. Never. Like, she would have told us. Why would she tell her mother-in-law, not any of us?
She was actually afraid of Jason, wasn't she?
Well, she wasn't afraid of Jason. She just wasn't feeling their relationship.
Okay.
Because, again, Jason wasn't abusive. Any accounts I saw, Jason was not abusive or anything like that. They just weren't. It wasn't what she wanted.
Okay.
There was no evidence against Matt, so he was pretty cleared right away. But now it's come up that, she was telling people, I don't know if she wanted to get back together with Matt, but she wanted a relationship that was not what she had with Jason.
Right.
Now they're looking at Jason, because obviously you look at the boyfriend. So police brought him, like I said, back to the scene to reenact everything he did that day. Everything matched with the DNA evidence they found. And they asked about their relationship, and Jason said it was great. We were happy. Nothing was wrong. But of course, her family and friends all say that the months before her death, she was constantly saying that she was unhappy in the relationship and that she wanted to break it off. She just wasn't finding the right time to do it.
Liar.
So she was literally waiting for, and at one point she said she was literally waiting for some real estate deals to close, and then she was planning to break up with him.
Oh, yikes.
Now, in December, right before the murder, Lindsay visited her dad in Calgary. And she told him all of this, that she was not happy, that she wanted to break things off with Jason, but she was waiting for these deals to go through, and that she was missing what she had with Matt. So she told him all of this. And now her dad was like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Like, if you're not happy, don't be with him. But like, you know, and her dad says that she also said to him something very cryptic. And he was like, it like haunts him to this day.
Should anything happen to me, Father?
No.
Okay, well, I tried.
You did. She said she saw something that she shouldn't have. And she said, it's really bad. I can't tell you right now. I'll tell you later.
Oh.
So she said she would elaborate at a later date. And he was like, I didn't want to push too much. So I was like, okay, tell me when you're ready.
I would push.
Well, this was only, you know, this was right before the murder, the month before the murder. So she never got to tell him what this was. So while she was in Calgary visiting her father, there is record that she got in touch with an old friend of her ex-boyfriend, Matt's. We're going to call this guy Dave because Dave is involved with some stuff and I don't really want to get into it. So Dave.
I'm like scared.
Yeah. So she got in contact with this guy, Dave. It's a little weird because it's her ex-boyfriend's friend. Nobody really knows why she got in contact with him. He hasn't told anybody why she got in contact with him. She also got in contact with one of his family members on Facebook, I believe. Now, they never met up. I believe they just got in contact. Now, during this whole thing, right after she left Calgary, there was a historical drug bust in Alberta. Huge drug bust. And that burner phone that was used to call her was activated right at this time.
Okay.
As we know, with drug situations, burner phones are used quite a bit.
Right.
So Dave was involved in this drug bust.
Okay.
Little connections here. So she gets in touch with Dave. Kind of weird that she got in touch with Dave. Then there's a huge drug bust right there when she leaves, and Dave is involved in this drug bust. He was arrested for this drug bust on January 22nd, 2008. So Dave went to jail. The operation was called High Noon, this drug bust, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Very intense. 14 people were arrested and charged, including Dave. The police found 67 kilograms of cocaine along with a ton of cash, like $2.227 million of cash.
Super fine, casual.
Yeah, no big deal. They also got like weapons, vehicles, and they had like vehicles that had like secret storage compartments in them and stuff. So that's just an interesting side note. So she got home. This drug bust had happened in Calgary, where she had just contacted somebody arrested in this drug bust. Just saying. December 22nd, she decided to go out one night with her best friend, Nick. They went out, and then they went back to Lindsay and Jason's condo in the early morning hours of December 22nd, and they just sat and chatted. Jason was asleep in the bedroom. She was telling Nikki all about how she was unhappy in this relationship. He's asleep. So she's like, oh, I can chat.
Or is he?
He wasn't.
I knew it.
So she told her, I'm unhappy. I'm really just waiting.
I'm leaving soon.
I'm going to leave. I'm just waiting for these certain things to happen. Jason was not asleep. He was listening to the entire thing.
Duh.
He heard everything. So Jason was pissed and freaked the fuck out.
Obviously.
Nikki got so scared of him that she ran from the home on foot. She was so scared. And Lindsay had to chase after her.
Okay.
Yeah. Jason called Lindsay 30 times in a row.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is like the kind of relationship they had.
Wow.
And
If anybody ever calls me 30 times, they are immediately canceled. What the fuck?
Well, and he's calling her 30 times, and when he can't get her to answer, he calls Mama Shirley.
Okay, Norman Bates.
Yeah. So that's just kind of weird. So things calmed down after this, after Christmas. And because this was December 22nd, so right near Christmas.
That's when things always boil up.
It's true. Everybody gets pissed and yells at each other and chases each other out of a house during Christmas.
Exactly.
Relationship shit. Now, things calmed down, and she went on a ski trip with Jason and his family, actually, around this time.
No, thank you.
After she came home from this ski trip, she was suddenly telling everybody, you know what? I'm going to stay in this relationship.
Because Shirley paid me off.
Because something must have happened. Everyone just said she just seemed like she was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot.
Huh.
So police despite all of this, Jason and his whole family, including Shirley, have been cleared by police. Completely cleared.
Huh.
And what's weird is a bit after the murder, another woman besides Jasmine got a phone call from a woman with a strange accent too.
Jason's other ex-girlfriend?
No, best friend Nikki.
No.
Yes.
No.
Now, she got this phone call super early in the morning. It like woke her out of a dead sleep. So she's
got chills.
Right. She said, she was like, this woman hung up because I couldn't understand what she was saying. And I was like, what is going on? Because she was not awake. So this woman hung up. But she was like, fuck that, I'm going to call her back. So she called her back, and she kept calling back and finally got an answer. Who was the woman who answered the phone call? Shirley.
Sis.
So this woman with a strange accent calls best friend Nikki. First thing in the morning, wakes her up. Nikki can't understand what she's saying. The lady hangs up. She calls the number right back. She doesn't dial a different number. She calls it right back. And Shirley answers the phone.
You heard it here first. Shirley is pure evil.
Something's up with Shirley, man.
Cruella DeVille, Shirley.
So Nikki's like flipping out and is like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? But Shirley just tells her, oh, my secretary's name is Nikki. And so I must have just got confused.
And called her, I just like to call her and use a fucking weird accent.
Well, and Nikki's like, how did you get my number? And like, we don't talk. Like, I don't even know you.
Right.
Like, what? And Shirley said, oh, Jason must have put your number in my phone.
Why though?
Exactly. So Nikki was like, none of that makes sense. Because she was also like, I don't even think Jason knows my net. Like, we're not friends.
Shirley, girl, come on.
So Shirley today denies that this phone call ever happened.
Of course she does.
But Nikki insists it happened.
What does she have to lie about?
And that's what she's basically getting at too.
Why did I make that up? The story makes no fucking sense anyways.
Well, that's the thing. Nikki is like, what do I get out of making this up? I don't get that. Police won't comment on this.
So it happened.
And actually, that's funny. That's what I wrote in my notes is, so it definitely happened.
Yeah.
Because Jason and Nikki don't know each other outside of Lindsay.
Right.
So this doesn't make any sense that Jason would put Nikki's phone. I don't even know if he has her phone number.
And why are you calling your secretary with a weird accent?
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, so you called your secretary early in the morning with a weird accent.
You're like, good morning.
Like, that's weird. And so we got, again, because the police won't comment on it, which is weird. It means it definitely happened and somebody's being protected here.
I'm super spooked.
Now, there's not a lot of movement in this case after this. In 2017, excuse me, someone left a horrifying comment on the website that Lindsay's dad, Jeff, runs in her memory.
What did they say?
It said, quote, I killed Lindsay, and stupid cops will never prove it, so you all got nothing. No one gives a shit anymore, anyhow, except her crybaby dad. Even her fakey girlfriends have washed it away. Typical loser chicks. Saanich cops dropped it because they can't solve shit and were told to drop it. Cut the phony investigation. It's done. Go home, losers. Forget about her. The street always rules. Bitches die every day.
Oh my God.
So this message was sent to the police, but nothing came out of it. They couldn't track it.
Address?
Apparently not.
That seems pretty easy in 2017.
I'm saying, but nothing came out of this. They could not track it.
That's horrible. Oh my God.
Yes. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy theories and a lot of theories that are in this case.
Drug related, perhaps.
Exactly. Now, I want to be clear when I say they have investigated thoroughly the fact that Lindsay did not have anything to do with drugs. She was not into drugs. She was not selling drugs. She was not an informant. She did not have anything to do with like drug trade. But she could have been connected to somebody who did have something to do with drug trade.
Right. And she did say that she saw something she shouldn't have seen.
Exactly. So, but I just want to be clear that she was not involved in this stuff. This was not part of her life. That is clear. It's been clear from everybody who has investigated this. They did bring up the fact that a lot of people in the area think that the investigation into this murder is bullshit. Like a lot of like that's what this person that left this message made a good point saying, like, they were a shitbag, obviously, this person that left this message, but they did point out that a lot of people in the area thought the investigation was bullshit and phony. Like, people were thinking, like, I don't think the police are really investigating this.
Because I think Shirley paid them off.
Something's going on here. There was all kinds of conflicting information. Police are letting out different things. Like, it's just, there's too many weird things about this investigation.
Yeah.
And what's even weirder is the day before the murder, 7 police officers in the Sandwich Police Department retired.
What?
A lot of them were experienced investigators with like decades of experience. One of them with a ton of experience actually came back at when the murder happened and was like, let me help because I'm very experienced in this. And the police was like, no.
Oh, yeah. Weird.
Wouldn't let this guy with tons of experience come back to investigate this.
Very, very strange.
Very weird. Now, just a side note that I got this information from a YouTube video about the case. It's a YouTube channel, Shauna Ray. She has really good true crime videos. I like to shout out people who do good true crime shit.
Hell yeah.
So Shauna Ray on YouTube, she has great stuff about this case and about a ton of other cases. And I did see that this is where I got this particular piece of information is from her video. Vancouver Island Integrated Major Crime Unit is it's basically a combo of different areas of Canada working together to solve major crimes like this one. Initially, the Saanich Police Department didn't want to join this, which is weird because they said they were fine working jobs alone. They didn't need help.
Doesn't seem like you're doing a great job, though.
They did eventually join it, but when it came to Lindsay's murder, they refused to hand over any info or files to this integrated crime unit.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it. They finally did hand over some stuff, but years after it happened. And they didn't get a lot of the original shit. They got like reviews and like secondhand information.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
So that's weird. The detective that worked the case, Detective Horsley, I believe his last name is. I have a quote from him that I found in an article that kind of will begin what I'm just going to mention as our like theory of what could have happened here. It's going to kind of like lead you into it. It says, quote, "You can be a person who just works and minds their own business in Victoria, yet through a very brief network of friends, you could be absolutely connected to people that are very involved in very bad things." So what I think and what I've seen is as in a lot of articles and a lot of theories and forums about this case, I think that I think her father saying that she said she saw something she shouldn't have while she was in Calgary. I think she did see something maybe, or she was potentially just nervous about something. Maybe I don't know, something must have happened. What's weird to me is right after she left Calgary is this huge drug bust happened. And then that burner phone was activated just for her murder. So what I think is somebody, I don't know who, that's the problem. I can't put together exactly the details of this. Someone, I think, said that she was a snitch or an informant. They were wrong because she was not. Mm-hmm. They don't have any evidence of her knowing anything. Or if she did know something, she didn't tell anyone. And she definitely wasn't an informant. They cleared that out. But I think somebody either mistakenly thought she was or was doing it just to get her killed.
Because they knew what was going to happen.
Exactly. So I think...
At Shirley.
I think this person, I don't know who, because again, I can't really connect all the threads correctly in my brain, like what could have happened, because it's so convoluted. Someone did put her in the position where these people, I think, had her killed. I think this was a professional job.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just when it comes to like the burner phone and like how it was activated just for this and they had the burner phone for a while, I think this does have to do with some kind of drug ring.
Because then it makes sense that you just have a burner phone on deck.
Exactly. That's why initially when I said like people think like, oh, they must have been planning this murder for like a year in advance. No, I think they just had burner phones
because they needed them,
and this just happened to be one of them. They grabbed one, and that's when they activated it for this.
Right.
So I do think that is what happened here. I don't know what role Jason plays in this, if he plays any role. He might be completely innocent.
Mama's boy.
And as far as, you know, the investigation is concerned, he's cleared and he's innocent. So I don't want to like disparage his name. Obviously, there's some weird coincidences that have occurred after that. But again, this could just be this poor guy just happens to be involved in all of this and he lost his girlfriend in a really terrible way. Now, her father, like I said, runs a website about the case. And the website that her father runs is lindsaybuziakmurder.com. Her last name is spelled Buziak. It's got a full timeline of the events, and he tries to keep up with like where the investigation is going. And he's basically just trying to keep this investigation from going cold, because obviously this has been over 10 years at this point. Now, he did go on Dr. Phil in May 2019, so this year.
Oh, shit.
To appeal for information as well. And he talked about police incompetence and that they mishandled this case. He's like pretty fearless when it comes to this too, because this is a very like scary situation with a lot of like moving parts that are really precarious here. Because anytime it involves like drugs and all this, it's like it can be a little scary.
It involves a lot of people too.
Exactly. And on this website that he runs, he like lists gang members' names, addresses.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And Dr. Phil was like, I think Dr. Phil literally said that's
like,
a good way to get killed.
Yeah, like don't do that.
Yeah, like he was like, this is not a good thing. But this dude does not.
It's his baby.
Yeah. And I mean, I get that. That's your kid. But like, woo, I'm worried for him.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm not going to name anybody, but that the website is an interesting, you know, it has the timeline and everything. And there's a few websites that have the timeline of events. There is a tip line that's set up by police if anybody has any information about Lindsay Buziak's murder. The tip line is 1-888-980-1919. And you can call that with any information about her murder, because it is currently unsolved and they have pretty much nothing to go on.
That was a wild ride.
Isn't it crazy? This one just like blew my mind. It was
a
just
lot of different, like so much going on in that case.
Yeah, it's insane amount of moving parts in this case that lead to absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's like a corn maze.
Yeah, and it's sad because it's this like vivacious, you know, effervescent, like promising young woman just doing her job.
And she's like in the beginning of like a promising career.
Yeah, and it's like, and she's just unknowingly unlocks the door to her own death. It's like,
wow.
So if you have any information about that case, call that tip line. And
in the meantime, maybe you could go join our Facebook group.
Morbid, a true crime podcast. It's great in there.
Follow us on Instagram.
Morbid Podcast.
Hit us up on Twitter.
At a Morbid Podcast.
Gmail us.
morbidpodcast@gmail.com.
Please donate to the Patreon.
Patreon.com/Morbid Podcast.
And check out the website that Alaina designed.
Morbidpodcast.com. I'm going to be updating that website, by the way, so stay tuned.
We hope you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it weird.
But not so weird that, I don't know. But not so weird that this happens.
Yeah, don't keep it that weird.
Bye.
Hey.